when I spoke to you just before, Mario, about just making sure everything was sweet to start the live session, I said, "Oh, how's London going?" And you said, "I'm not in London. Tell everyone where you are."
Uh, actually, I'm not a big fan of how do you say, sitting in one place and being locked up and that kind of stuff. So I knew this was going to be like this in London, so I decided to get the hell out of there and bought a ticket, took my wife, and we came away to Thailand. We're in Thailand right now, so we've been here for about a month now. We're going to stay here for another month. So nothing's happening better in Europe. So what's the point? Hi, Nikki.
And you said that Thailand at the moment doesn't have isn't really affected too much by COVID-19. Not where you are particularly.
I know we are about 3 hours outside of Bangkok, and
Yeah.
it's a beach. And this is the fun part. There is nobody in this hotel, just me and Christina. That's it. A
Wow, you guys
receptionist,
have the whole hotel to yourself.
all hotel to ourselves. Yeah. Literally nobody here for a whole month. All the Europeans got scared and left. There
So
are
you've
flights to
got
London,
like,
so it's not like we're stuck here. There are flights to London. Qatar Airways are still flying to Doha from Bangkok. And then
yeah.
there's from Doha to London, there's flights also with Qatar Airways. So we're not stuck here. We want to be here. You know what I mean?
Wow,
Um,
amazing.
but this is great because I've never spent so much time with Christina before. This is the first time we've actually been together for over 8 weeks. And it's nice, and spending quality time together and just away
So
from the
this
kind
is
of
this
lifestyle
is
I've been
actually quite
living.
a good segue into one of the questions that was put to us to ask you. Is you said this is the most time you've been able to spend with your wife. How long have you been teaching, like every weekend?
Um, I started in 2000.
2000. So
Yeah,
20 years you've been a
almost
traveling
20
artist.
years. Yeah. I've been counting all my festivals like you put out a post the other day, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. But that
Croatia,
was from a year ago.
Rovin was going to be my 999th one.
Wow, that's
So
incredible.
it's a lot. It's a lot.
Nearly 1,000 festivals.
And
Because
in London also. So I've been teaching 1 or 2 years prior to that in London also. So along
yeah,
with the travel, it's almost 21 years now. So yeah, and
and
it's
that's
nice
how
having
long
a
you've been teaching for.
yeah, 21 years.
So
29
was
so.
that so you moved to London prior to teaching?
Oh, no, I lived in London. I've lived in London now for 31 years now. So
So you were in
um,
your 20s when you moved over?
I was 17 when I came to London.
17 when you came
Yeah.
over to London from India?
Yeah.
True. Okay. And then, so I think a lot of people would be curious to know who you actually learnt from. Who was your first salsa teacher, or who was your most influential salsa teacher?
Yeah. I was going to post this yesterday, actually. I'm just curious because, nowadays when I see people's biographies and people's gratitude to to whoever they're saying thank you to, I just see people who are famous. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's
Yeah.
wrong because I always want to know who your first teacher was, the person who took you and showed you your basic step. And I was going to put
Yeah.
this up on Facebook actually, and the person who did that for me was somebody called Ellie Galvani. Nobody knows her, even people in London don't know her. But I'll tell you something. If I got goosebumps. If not for this lady, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing. And she was just such a super sweet, kind-hearted woman that allowed me to do what I was doing. I never paid for a single salsa lesson in my life because I couldn't afford it back then.
Yeah.
She took me up and she told me like, look, you're going to be good in the future. Just start taking classes. But promise me one day you're going to teach for me. And she guided my. I didn't see what she saw, but now that I'm teaching regularly, I see what she saw. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I'm very grateful for that person. Her name is Ellie, Elli, Ellie Galvani. She's from Greece, but we've lost contact now for about 10 years ago. We haven't kept in touch with each other, but she's the person who actually taught me my first basic steps. That she guided me into that, and then I met another very interesting person a few months after that. Was my intermediate teacher. So this is something that doesn't happen in the world these days. I can guarantee you that now. And if you guys are going to be teachers in the future, please uh, use the system. It actually motivates people. So what he used to do, his name was Paul.
Hmm.
Okay, and he used to teach a class. We all used to learn it as students. And then he'll be like, okay, so now everybody, let's see Mario's version, you know. And I was at the back always messing around with my hands and creating 20 different things from what he just showed us. And he always encouraged me in class to be able to show what else I have created or what else we can do with our hands and stuff, you know. So this was
This
always
never
something that
happens
motivated.
in classes now.
Never. I do this in my class. I do this in my class all the time. If I see somebody doing something, I always tell them, okay, show us what you got now, you know, that kind of stuff. He always encouraged me, and that motivation always kept me in creative mode. You know what I mean? So whenever I went to class, it was never what was showed. It was always more than what I learned. You know? What are you laughing
From
at?
my experience, people in your classes are too busy trying to get the combination to be able to have learnt it, and then they're trying to like find variations to it.
Things are different now because everybody comes to class now with a certain expectation. You know what I mean? Hi, Digvijay. With a certain expectation, and I guess you got to give them something to be able to take back home. You know what I mean? And time is very, very short right now. So that's why in London, the class that you came to is only 1 hour long, but the other classes I do are like 2.5 hour, 3 hour classes. And there I'm able to play with people, you know? So I encourage people all the time. They all know this. Everybody, any of my students watching right now, they know the kind of stuff I do with them, you know? So
I can testify to it because I've been training overseas now for 2 or 3 years with some of the top people, you included, but I was training with Fernando and Adolfo and Farinho, with the Berardis, with all of these people that are doing like the world circuit like you are. And I've probably never been more challenged in partner work classes than I were on your, I think it was your Wednesday night classes in London when I came in. And there's like no mucking around. It's like, all right, everyone, this is the first 2-3-8s, go. And it's like triple spin, direction change. Girls are like pretzeled and hammer locked up, swapping sides, and I really like had to switch on to be able to catch this stuff. And if I'm honest, I maybe only just got a lot of the combinations, but like a lot of your regular classwork that you do in London is far more difficult than what you're teaching in workshops and festivals and weekends away when you travel.
Because in London, I'm able to train people. So if I see somebody this week, I'm able to see their weaknesses and work with them next week, or show them their strengths and show them that there's so many other things that we can actually play with and stuff like that. In festivals, it's just a 1 hour class with people I've never seen before. You know, they've got to learn something that they can take into the social dance floor and be able to execute and enjoy themselves. You know what I mean? So the level of classes in festivals for me are always going to be to keep the people happy. You know what I mean?
The students in London are the guinea pigs.
You know, actually, you guys are my guinea pigs, because you know, if you train with me regularly, you come to classes regularly, you know the kind of things I do. So if anything needs to see how it works or whatever, I've got to try it out with you guys first in London before I can take it out to festivals and teach like that. You know, everybody keeps telling me that I teach very simple and easy classes in festivals. Yes, that is a fact. I do that on purpose because the majority of the people who come to learn want to learn something that they can take somewhere to practice in the evenings or the weekends or the future weeks or whatever, you know. So for me, it's a deliberate ploy. I do that on purpose. If you guys want to learn really crazy combinations, whatever, please come to London. You know, I will make you guys excited there.
Is there anyone in particular that highlighted the importance of history or history of salsa or history of music to you? Like any of your teachers over time or influential people in the scene that have helped you?
For me, the philosophy of Eddie Torres was something that I've always followed. I mean, I respect him so much. I thank him for bringing what he's done for us in the salsa scene, mambo scene. His classes were always something that me and Leon Rose, I'm sure you guys all know, we used to go to New York and take classes with Nelson Flores and with Eddie Torres all the time, you know. And the things that Eddie Torres told us when we were learning, when we were coming up, were like just things that made a deep impact in the way I do things now. For example, the thing I will never forget that he said was, you know, when you're dancing with somebody, it's like a picture. You know, the woman is the picture, the guy should be the frame. You know, like you pay attention. Nobody looks at the frame. Everybody looks at the picture.
Correct.
You know what I mean? So he installed that thought in me that I don't care where I'm dancing, who I'm dancing. My eyes are 24/7 on that lady. whoever I'm dancing with. I don't care if Steve's filming or Social Dance TV is filming. My eyes are on that person. You know, I got to make her look good. I got to make her feel comfortable. I got to make her, and this is the kind of thing that I like. I love this kind of philosophies that he actually put into us, you know, and I'll always be thankful to him. He was a big influence in the way I thought things. Yeah,
I think you create a lot of funny cases. You can, like, I've never been more nervous, for example, in some of your classes, and you might make a mistake, and then because I'm Australian, he's like, oh, the Bushman up. Let's everyone pay attention to this. Like, everyone just stop what you're doing and watch this guy make an ass of himself.